I know I've been gone for a while, and a lot has happened. Am I gonna explain what happened that I've been gone for a while? No. No, I am not. And if I do decide to tell you why I've been gone for so long, that's gonna be in another serious video for another day. All you guys really need to know is that I'm back. I will be doing weekly videos, and I will put more of a focus and a priority to my YouTube channel because I like doing this. It's fun. It's fun. I like doing this. It makes me happy. It's fun. Anyway, of course I got another story for you guys. I don't even know how to phrase this. How much disrespect are you willing to take before you put your hands on someone else? And has there ever been a point in time that you've gotten there that you're like, silencer off or silent mode on? Have you ever been pushed to a point where you felt you can only take physical violence? Because I have a story like this, and although I'm not proud of it, I am. So the year was 2000 and something. Frankly, I forgot. But at the time, I was in 3rd grade. There was a kid who always got into trouble, and we'll call him Ben. His name isn't Ben, but for the sake of the story, we'll call him Ben. So Ben and I always took the same bus to go home. Now that I am out of high school and middle school, I don't take the bus anymore. But when I was on the bus, I like to have my space. I like to have one full bus seat just for me. I didn't want anybody sitting next to me, and I always sat on the seat to the aisle with my stuff near the window. You know, just to be a little extra safe. If anybody wanted to take my stuff, they would have to reach over me, I could stop them. They could reach behind me, I could stop them. Reach in front of me, I could still stop them. You know, just being a little safe. Being a little safe. So this kid Ben, he wasn't trying to take my stuff, but he was trying to get comfortable. So what he ended up doing is he would take his foot and he would put it on my seat. Now in and of itself, that would be fine. If it was any other seat, it would have been fine. My issue with this though, my biggest issue with this is the fact that since I'm on the aisle seat, his foot was basically on my leg. So I said, hey Ben, stop. Don't do that, please and thank you. And he went, okay, and he kindly removed his foot and put it back on the ground. After that, I didn't have any more issues. I didn't have any more issues. Why is that part relevant to the story? Because he did it again 5 minutes later. Now when he did it again, my brain decides to activate that little nugget inside of it where I get a little bit of petty. So my sarcasm started, hey, stop. I told you not to do that. Please stop again. And once again, bruh man stopped. He moved his foot, yada yada, this, that, and the third. He was like, my bad, whatever. Took his foot back. 5 minutes go by. From the time he takes his foot off of my seat, 5 minutes go by before he puts his foot back on my seat. So now I'm a little mad. I told you 2 other times not to put your foot on my seat. I like my space. You popping my bubble, you dipping in my bucket. I thought we learned about this in 2nd grade, last year. Thought we learned about this, dude. What are we doing here? Instead of yelling at him or straight up being like, yo, you're rude, dude. What's wrong with you? Why you keep doing this? Instead of going down to his level, I just do it again. But I do it a little more sarcastic to the point where I dip my face down next to his foot so he knows exactly what I'm talking about. And I go, stop, and I push his leg off my, stop pushing. This man decides that the best course of action is to wind up his leg and kick me in the face. I was so mad. You know how disrespectful it is to get kicked in the face? I was watching a lot of Bruce Lee at the time. I love Bruce Lee. He's still my favorite martial artist. Be water, my friend. You put water in a cup, it becomes the cup. Yada yada yada, blah blah blah. Bruce Lee stuff. The only thing you need to know is that he was a big idol for me at my early ages of life. So after he kicked me in the face, the first thing I thought to do was to check if my lip was bleeding. So I took my hand, I touched my lip, I saw that there was blood. I can't stress this enough. I was watching a lot of Bruce Lee at the time, and I licked the blood off my finger. Now that sounds gross, because it is, but saw the look on this man's face after I did that, but this man was so scared. He was so scared. Oh, it was a great look. So in my mind, that's 3 strikes you're out. I get to hit you now, especially because you kicked me in the face. I stood up on a moving bus and punched this kid in the stomach so hard, as soon as I pulled back from the punch, I got the most satisfying I got like the longest, most consistent out of him. I don't even know. What is the word for that? There has to be a word to describe what that is. So let me just recap the story. I like my seat on the bus. I keep my stuff over towards the window seat so it doesn't get stolen. Ben puts his foot on my seat. I tell him to stop. Ben puts his foot on the seat again. 5 minutes later, I tell him to stop once again. 5 minutes later after that, Ben puts his foot on my seat again and super sarcastically tell him to stop. He charges up his foot and kicks me in the face. I check my lip. I'm bleeding. I hit him so hard in the stomach. He goes, I don't know why I'm proud of that, but I am. Moving forward. So now Ben decides that he has a little vendetta against me, that I'm the bad guy in his little superhero story of him being a terror to the middle school that I went to. I don't know if it was the next day, but for the sake of the story, the next day, he decides he wants to pick a little bit of a fight with me, and he's third grade, mind you, third grade. He curses out me, my mom, my dad, and my brother. Even in third grade, I had a certain standard I had for myself that I knew I wasn't beneath. Oh, you suck. I'm like, I know I don't suck. I just don't. Whereas if you curse out my family who's not there to defend themselves, now I have an issue. F your dad, he's a bum, he probably left you, he's not in the house. This is coming out the mouth of a third grader. He said my mom was a hoe and I had plenty of half-brothers, which wasn't true, but she's not here to defend himself. It hurt me a little bit, not gonna lie. I'm in third grade. You can forgive me for that. And then he started talking about my brother. As he starts, I get up and I just start wailing on him. I went to a predominantly white high school. Why is that important? Being one of the few black kids on a completely white bus, beating up a white dude because of the things they said about my brother, doesn't look good for the black community. I know that now. Back then, don't talk about my family. As I was beating this dude, I managed to get him on the bus floor. I got on top of him and I hit him with a right, left, and then I mixed it up with a right, left, right. The bus driver was like, hey, stop that, blah, 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 pull this bus over, blah, blah, blah. I didn't stop until I felt the bus stop. The bus stopped. I stopped. I said, don't talk about my family, and I sat back down. He didn't say another word, because he just got beat by the skinniest, blackest dude on the bus. This is third grade. I'm throwing hands since third grade, my guy. I'm not saying I'm a fighter. All I'm saying is I fight when I need to. I'd rather not. I'd rather talk it out like adults, like I gave him the chance to do, but he wanted to continue to talk about my family. He said, your dad, don't do it, Doc. You don't know what you're doing to yourself. Your mom, I told you to stop. That's not my fault. I told you to stop. 3 strikes and you're out. You should have known this policy when you was putting your foot on my seat because I told you 3 times. So I want to reiterate the question I started this video off with. What point do you have to get to where you feel it's justified to put your hands on someone else? Like, what's that number? What's the sentence that they have to use? Or give me a story. I want to hear stories. Put those in the comment section down below. Give me some new entertainment. And I don't know if necessarily how I reacted was right. All I know is that when we got called to the principal's office, they kept yelling at me because, oh, I'm the black kid and black people getting in trouble. And I looked at them and I said, it's not my fault. His grades are bad. His social status is bad. Everybody doesn't like him. And now he's cursing out my family. You expect me to like him? So he got suspended for like 3 days and I went back to class. I was defending myself. How are you going to put a kid at fault for defending himself? They said, oh, you're suspended. Why? Because you didn't get your ass beat. Luckily, they did the right thing. Sent me back to class and said, you're fine. Then said, Ben, I don't want to see none of this behavior or else we're just going to take you out of the school. A couple weeks go by. I hear by word of mouth that Ben moved back to Poland because he kept getting into fights. It wasn't just me. Like I said before, I don't know if I made the right decision on that, but I was in third grade. Can you really fault me? I was defending myself. And if it wasn't the right decision, what do I know? I'm just an idiot. And I will see you guys in the next video. Until